bring a spiritual element, success will come easy more than anything, simply because you function at your full potential. Because for most human beings, their genius sparks once
Wherever your desire is, that's where your mind is, isn't it?
We are mistaking information for intelligence. Once you heap yourself with too much information, now attention is a serious problem. Once you have no attention, once you have no ability to hold your attention, you have lost your ability to access your intelligence also. You will just churn out the information from memory. There's a beautiful incident. You heard of Andrew Carnegie. When Andrew Carnegie started his enterprise, in a short span of time, he became so super successful and made so much money. At that time, okay, this is not the age of Google or Facebook or Twitter where in 2 years they become multi-billionaires and all. Those days, people had to set up manufacturing this and that and make money which would take decades or generations. So this guy made so much money in a short span of time, people suspected, the US government suspected he's doing some malpractice. They set up a Senate investigation committee. So they questioned him in every way possible and they found nothing wrong with his business. Then they asked, how do you manage to make so much money and be so successful? So Andrew Carnegie said something very simple. See, I can keep my mind focused on something for 5 minutes at a stretch. 5 minutes. Can any of you do it? All the senators. They thought, what's the problem with 5 minutes? And he set up an experiment. They tried to keep their attention, they couldn't keep it for a few seconds. One moment here, one moment there, this is the fate of most human beings. So then he said, you should not be running United States. So, human ability, there's something called as chitta. There's a different… see, in English language, mind is mind. Largely you're considering the memory part of your mind as mind. In the yogic system, there are 4 main aspects of the mind. I'll not go into the detail, but the memory part of the mind is of least importance. It's the chitta, which is connected with the consciousness, which is most important. If you find a shape for your chitta, that shape will manifest always, because it's empowered by life-making material which for lack of words we're using the word consciousness, that which is the basis of life. Once your mind is yoked to that, then what shape your mind takes, mind is like a cloud, you can make it any shape. You can make it godlike, you can make it a devil out of it, you can make a pig out of it, you can make whatever out of it, you know? It's a nebulous thing. So what shape you give to your chitta, it will always manifest in the world because it's empowered by life-making energy behind it. So that is the most important aspect of the mind, not the memory.
Fashion. I would go from being that genius kind of version of myself to suddenly to something I'd practiced so many times and felt like I knew so well, and yet I'd move from chaos and all kinds of complexity externally to simplicity externally and make it so complex. Because suddenly from that moment you go from a clarity, like you said, a simplicity, to an absolute complexity internally, whereby it's suddenly about what will people think if I miss this, what if I, heaven forbid, I let my team down, etc., etc.
If you think what people will think, the ball will go into the people only.
Yeah, yeah, it's true, very true, yeah.
So I can tell you one secret, but I'm on camera, what to do? I'll tell you anyway.
Please.
But the opposition may also learn this.
That's okay. We'll work that out when we come to it.
When you want to kick that dead ball, what you do is, you exhale with your mouth open and use this as a way approximately 17 to 20 inches, somewhere there, you focus your eyes there, that empty space, okay? You can do this 3 times. There is something else which is called as Akash, which gets activated because of this. In this, you are naturally in the zone. See, there are 3 ways to function in a way that other people think is miraculous. One thing is to become all body, that you don't have a mind at all, just all body. There are some great players in soccer where you see them, you can see they don't have a mind, they're just all body. And they'll do miraculous things that nobody ever thought they could do at that moment when they're like that. And they're getting into that zone more often than others, so they become the great players that they are. Another way is a very powerful mind which visualizes and creates what it wants. That's another way to be there, which is powerful, but I don't know how many people have the necessary discipline and focus to do that. A few do that. Some people who build the game, have this thing, they even mentally deciding how the other guy should act. Many times you've seen this in rare moments, particularly in soccer and also in cricket game, the bowler decides how the batsman should act. So, there is another type of intelligence called consciousness. Consciousness is that intelligence which is unsullied by your memory. Body is full of memory. It's taken this form only because of its evolutionary memory, genetic memory, karmic memory, like this. Because of memory, this body has formed a shape. Because of memory, your mind has taken a certain shape. But there's another intelligence which is untouched by memory, which is the fundamental and the most powerful form of intelligence in the universe. If you touch that, your body and mind should be well trained anyway to play that game, otherwise you cannot play. But once you touch that, you play in such a way which is magical for other people. There is no answer with anybody around you. There are many times certain sport reaches that place. Knowingly or unknowingly, the player gets in and they themselves are surprised. I've seen this sometimes, the tennis players, they're surprised, did I make this shot? They can't believe it themselves because they got into that space.
So wherever your desire is, that's where your mind will be. If you desire something intensely, your mind will be always there. Right now, you desire the cup, wrong place to be. You desire a goal, that's what you should desire when you're on the field, isn't it? Now you can desire the cup. But once you're on the field, you just desire the goal and goal and goal, nothing else. Once your desire is strong, your body and mind naturally moves in that direction, isn't it? Whatever you desire, that's where you go. If your desire falls off, then you can't keep the mind on it.